The accidental diminisher. We're all accidental diminishers sometimes. That's the reality. No one's perfect. We're striving towards this outcome of being a multiplier, and that's great, but remember to forgive yourself. You're going to have these tendencies. I think this is a very practical and maybe one of the best chapters to realize the different basically avatars or types of diminishers to be aware of. We all have a little bit of these in us, one more than others. There's actually a quiz after this you'll be able to click on and see which diminishing tendencies that you have. I'll actually share mine as well. You might be able to recognize just by reading them. So accidental diminishers. They are managers who, despite the very best of intentions, have a diminishing impact on the people they lead. All right, and we all got a little bit of it in us. So we're always trying. Listen, lead from the front, just like your team. You want your team to get 1% better every day. We got to be getting 1% better every day. So I'm going to show you this in table format. I'm going to show you the tendencies of each accidental diminisher, what their intentions are, and then what the actual outcome on the team is, and then some simple workarounds you can use, actionable items, and some learning experiments you can do. And it kind of ties in everything from the book that we've learned so far, some different concepts. All right, tendencies. So one, we got the idea guy, okay? What is the intentions of the idea guy? It's for their ideas to stimulate ideas in others. They love just coming up with all these ideas. But what does it really do? It overwhelms other people who either shut down or just spend a ton of time wasting time chasing all these different ideas. It creates a lack of focus for people. Whereas the idea guy, they just want to bring up ideas and think about things, which is great. But for some people, it can overwhelm. It can overwhelm them and also create a lack of focus and clarity. So simple workarounds is to create a holding tank for yourself. So before sharing new ideas, stop and ask yourself if you want the people who work for you to take action now. If not, hold off sharing and save it for later. So have this idea tank where you can put all your ideas so you don't forget them, but be careful about what ideas you're introducing and make sure that, hey, if I introduce this idea, be ready for everyone to want to take action on it right now, right? Or pre-frame it. If you're going to bring the idea up, hey, not something we need to do right now, but just an idea. But be careful with how many ideas you are bringing to the table. Some learning experiments here is the extreme questions challenge, which is basically trying to lead a whole debate by only asking questions, or a whole meeting by only asking questions. So you're not actually giving any ideas. Everyone else is giving ideas. Make a debate. So having a debate about something instead of you just spewing out ideas can help you refrain from those ideas. So again, our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses. That's the reality of this. Your strength as being an idea guy can also be a weakness taken to the extreme. Always on, okay? The always on. What you want to do is create this infectious energy and share your point of view. But what actually happens? You consume all the space and others tune you out. This is kind of me, always on. I need to tone it down a lot of times. So say it just once. And this is so me, but in a meeting, just repeating what I'm saying because I have all this energy and I want to fire people up, and it's one of my strengths. But at the same time, it's like, hey man, tone it down a little bit. You only need to tell something to someone once. Give other people space to think and do things. So tone it down a little bit. So instead of repeating yourself for emphasis, try saying things once and create a reason for others to chime in and build on the idea. Set expectations for others to speak up. So don't hog the meeting and overbear everyone. So things that you can do is you can use that poker chip analogy. Play fewer chips in your meetings. Let others talk. Always say less than necessary. Law of power number 4, Robert Greene. Speak 20% of the time. Challenge yourself to do that. Use the Mississippi rule. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, before you start talking again in meetings. And then give 51% of the vote to someone else. Give someone ownership of the outcome. The rescuer. What do they want? They want to ensure people are successful and protect their reputation. It's huge, right? All these intentions are good. That's the thing, the accidental diminisher. You want to do good, but you go overboard. They want to ensure people are successful so they can protect their reputation. What ends up happening? People become dependent on the rescuers, always jumping in to save them, which weakens their reputation. So you're trying to help people by jumping in and saving them and saving their reputation as a good employee, but really you weaken them because they don't build any skills. You got to learn through the fire. So ask for their FIX, okay, the fix. This analogy came because the book she's talking about, uh, yeah, I forget what the thing was, but the FIX is analogous to the 1-3-1 rule from Dan Martell. So identify the one problem, give me 3 potential solutions to that problem, and then give me your suggestion for which of those you want to move forward with. So don't just jump in and solve everyone's problems. It's really easy to do this because, again, it's quicker. A lot of things with the diminishing style of leadership, it's quicker, quicker, quicker. It's easier in the short term, but in the long term, you shoot yourself in the foot. So make sure you're asking people to come up with solutions. Make space for mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Let's learn as long as we're not making the same mistake multiple times in a row, and give it back to them. So they come to you with a problem. Hey, how do I solve this? Okay, Socratic questioning, ask different questions to tease out a solution that they can come to, and then it's back on them to go and execute that. Pace setter. What do they want? To set a high standard for quality or pace. What a great intention. What ends up happening? Others become spectators. They just sit on the sideline or give up when they can't keep up. So you're in there, pace, and I'm a pace setter too, for sure, that I need to watch this. Is like going in, driving the pace, push, 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 push. Sometimes people are like, whoa, like just get out of the way. He's like a bull in the china shop right now. Just get out of the way, let him go. And we need to stay within sight. So if you have a tendency to pull out ahead, remind yourself to stay within sight so people don't give up or get lost. Stay within a distance that someone could catch up. So actually a prime example of this is we had a Google review contest, and for the month of May, I use that example because we actually had that. And I literally got 10 reviews in like one day. We started the thing, and I was way ahead on the leaderboard. The winner was going to get a $500 Visa gift card, and all I wanted to do was literally set the pace and like try to motivate people to get going. And it was like overwhelming that other people were only at like 1 by like day 5, and I was already at 10 in the first day. And I was like, whoa, I gotta scale it back because now it's having the opposite effect. It's discouraging people. It's like, all right, I might as well not do anything. Jake's just gonna go get all 50 reviews. So I set too much pace there, where I should have been more strategic and I should have stayed within sight if I was smarter about it. I would have done like, you know, 2 reviews on one day, let people get up to 2, and then set the pace a little bit more, do 4, and push to 4. And I would have kept them on the line and actually probably helped everyone be more productive rather than just shooting out ahead to 10 reviews. And then it's like, all right, let's just get out of the way, let Jake do his thing. There's no way that I can even keep up. So, uh, learning experiment is give 51% of the vote, which is again giving the other person ownership of the outcome, because they're going to be a little bit more motivated to get things done. The rapid responder. Okay, you're responding to everything really quick. So the idea is to keep their organization moving fast. Okay, but outcomes, their organization moves slowly because of the traffic jam of too many decisions or changes. So because you're responding to everything, and I think this one is in relation because it gives an example about emails and maybe Slack messages. So you could liken this to Slack if you guys use Slack as a communication channel. If you're always the one responding to everyone's Slack, again, you're jumping in and doing it for everyone, so everyone kind of stops responding. And ultimately, your goal is to speed up communication, but it really slows it down because now everyone sees me in there responding to everyone like, oh, whatever, Jake will get to it. And then everyone's just waiting on a response from me, and ultimately everyone's communication slows down. So set a mandatory waiting period. Wait 24 hours. So not in Slack, but say it's an email that everyone's on. Wait 24 hours or however many, or maybe it is a Slack message. You make a thing to wait 30 minutes or wait an hour before responding in a public channel to give other people the chance to respond. Um, yeah, so it says wait 24 hours before responding to any email that falls into someone else's job. Give that person the right of first response. So yeah, don't always be jumping in and responding. So extreme questions challenge, you can use that where you're always asking questions in a meeting. Make a debate. The optimist. What do they want to do? They want to create belief that the team can do it. Love it. Optimism, such a great thing in a world of negativity. Again, all these are strengths taken to, these are basically all strengths that are taken to the extreme, which become negative. That's how you become an accidental diminisher. Your strengths are taken to the extreme. So they want to create belief that the team can do it, but what is the outcome? People wonder if they appreciate the struggle and the possibility of failure. This is real. It's like stuff is hard sometimes, and people want to know that you understand that, hey, this is a little bit difficult and we're trying to work through it. But when we come in here all happy go lucky, it's almost like you're naive to the situation. That's what people feel like, and that you don't respect the struggle that there actually is, that there is a possibility of that there is a little bit of risk on the line here. So signal the struggle before offering your boundless enthusiasm. Start by acknowledging or positivity, acknowledging how hard the work is. Let people know, yeah, this is difficult. What I'm asking you to do is hard. Success isn't guaranteed, but this is the way. So be careful with the optimism. It can be frustrating for people sometimes when it's definitely difficult and you're just trying to help. But sometimes it can be like, does this guy have a clue of what's going on? Like this is not as easy as he's making it out to be. Acts like everything's so easy. Um, so make space for mistakes and talk up your own mistakes a little bit. Like, yeah, it is a struggle. I went through the same thing and it was difficult, but this is how we figured it out. All right, last page here. The protector. What do they want to do? They want to keep people safe from political forces in the organization. Outcomes people don't learn to fend for themselves. So you're like the peacemaker, almost. That's almost what it's like. So, people are talking bad behind your back or XYZ, and you don't want a bad culture, but um, you can't just be, yeah, protecting everyone. People kind of got to stick up for themselves if there is some turmoil or some animosity between people. We had this between the lead manager and a cold caller where they were kind of at their necks. It's like you can't just kind of protect them both. You have to let them. They need to learn how to fend for themselves and work it out on their own, and ultimately have that experience. So expose and inoculate, right? So expose your team members to harsh realities in small doses so they can learn from their mistakes and develop strengths. I think too, if they make a big mistake that costs the company a lot of money, you might want to protect them in their ego and not let them know how big of a mistake it was. Reality, you should let them know. Like you should let them know this was detrimental. Like this is unacceptable. Okay? Now, it happened. We're going to learn from it, but this is unacceptable and really cost us big. I just want you to know the consequences of your actions. So you can't just protect them from everything. They got to know the reality. But part of that is making space for mistakes, right? Okay, you made a mistake. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean that there wasn't consequences, but it happens. That's the mindset. It happens. You made a mistake. There's consequences for it, and these are the consequences, and they're harsh, and let's try to never do it again. But that's the reality of that. The strategist. What do they want to do? They want to create a compelling reason to move beyond the status quo. They're trying to strategize and get these options so we can keep pushing. What ends up happening is people defer up and second guess the boss rather than finding answers. So don't complete the puzzle. As you paint a picture of the future, leave sections for your team to complete. Don't do everything, because when you're doing everything, again, you're doing everything, everyone's just going to get out of the way. Yep, let them do it. He'll come up with a strategy, and you're diminishing because you're not pulling out their ideas or their intelligence. Frame the puzzle by establishing the why and the what, but let the team fill in the how. So lay down a concrete challenge. Lay down a concrete challenge. I think that's messed up, but so yeah, as a strategist, you want to do the strategy. Well, lay down a challenge, and that's going to allow your team to come up with the how and be more bought in. So if you want to review these are all things that obviously diminish people's abilities. That's the whole theme of the book, diminishing. You're diminishing their abilities. You want to multiply their abilities. The perfectionist. Their intention is to help people produce outstanding work that they're proud of. Yes, such a good intention. What is the outcome? People feel criticized, become disheartened, and stop trying. Because you're in there trying to help them produce outstanding work, but you're nitpicking apart all their work, and they always just feel like nothing's ever good enough for you. So they just feel like you're criticizing them, they feel disheartened, and they stop trying. So instead, define the standards up front, okay? Define the standards of excellence up front, and let people know what outstanding looks like. And define the criteria for them to assess themselves. What a much better way. So instead of coming in and just constantly adjusting them and they feel like they never do anything right, set the standard for excellence. What does outstanding look like? Set it up front, And then as they go through it, let them judge themselves by comparing it to the standard. And then you're able to, when you come in and coach, you're just coaching versus the standard, like their work versus the standard, instead of you coming in and just criticizing their work. So it makes it about the work and not you criticizing them. So make space for mistakes, give 51% of the vote. So those are all the accidental diminishing tendencies. I kind of shared some of the ones that I do. So decreasing your accidental diminisher tendencies, seek feedback all the time from people. What do people feel like you're doing? You got to ask for feedback. You got to ask for feedback. It's absolutely massive. And sometimes feedback doesn't feel good. Sometimes the truth hurts. But in reality, don't let your team walk around with salad in their teeth. What does that mean? You ever have salad in your teeth and your friend doesn't tell you? Why don't they tell you? Because they don't want you to feel bad that you have salad in your teeth, which is natural. But what ends up making you feel worse? The fact that they didn't tell you and you were walking around for 2 hours with salad in your teeth, right? So it's the same thing. You got to ask for you have to ask for that feedback and you have to be comfortable giving it. So it actually puts you in a better position knowing this stuff that you don't want to hear, because you're not walking around every single day doing these diminisher tendencies that are actually putting your team off. So it's the truth of the matter. So it's a little bit of pain up front of knowing you got a little bit of salad in your teeth for long-term gain versus just the illusion that, you know, you don't want to be insulted or feel bad about yourself, so you just walk around doing these accidental diminisher tendencies for forever because you never ask for feedback. So ask for feedback. Welcome people to spot out salad in your teeth. Okay. Anyways, lead with intention. That means be intentional about how you're leading. Follow these practices. Practice the workarounds that we talked about. Do less, challenge more. Do less, challenge more. Congratulations. Let's see what this does. Nice. You've completed. Okay, so here's the quiz. I'm going to put the link as a comment right here in the video. It's going to be right here. And take this quiz to find out your accidental diminishing tendencies. Thank you. Thank you. There is 2 more chapters in the book dealing with diminishers and becoming a multiplier, but I think this pretty much encapsulates it. It's pretty all-encompassing. I appreciate you going through. If you actually made it to the end of this video, kudos to you. A lot of people are going to start this and not finish it. The work has only just begun, okay? Now you have to go implement this stuff. Go take action, okay? At the end of the day, we don't need more information. We need more implementation. So go out there, be a better leader, impact others, change the world.